agriculture sector is taking a beating as well from the continuous habagat rains and past tropical cyclones. With us tonight is Agriculture Secretary Francisco Kiko Chu Laurel Jr. Welcome back to the Big Story, Secretary Kiko.
Good evening, Sash. Nice to be back.
Well, today was really a bad day, and 1 billion already has been reported as damage to agriculture. Has this risen?
That yung 1 billion was a figure early this morning at like 9 a.m. So ay talagang tingin namin tataas pa yan at 25,000 hectares na affected with 25,000 farmers. Ano? So hanggang Wednesday pa tayo rito or even up to Thursday. So yeah, we expect na lumaki yung damage.
And the most hard hit are rice farmers.
Fisher folk din, if you calculate na hindi sila makapagpalao dahil malakas, so may tama din para mga fish pond owners. Of course, rice, corn, cassava, medyo high value crops, malaking tama rin actually.
Ano pong tulong ang maibibigay natin sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda?
Well, yung sa mga isda, meron na tayong fuel subsidy naka-standby, then meron tayong tupad na pwedeng ipamahagi sa kanila. Yung sa mga farmers naman natin, of course, may seed supply na ready na, fertilizers, among others, pati sa high-value crops and corn. But of course, everything has to subside so that we can replant. Meron din tayong pinaplan na presidential assistance to farmers and fisher folks na napondohan. Ano? Just yesterday, ng a considerable sum naman. But of course, we have to evaluate pa sino yung mga tinamaan. Yun ang mabibigyan natin.
Alam nyo, the weather is really getting more extreme. We can't do as usual, hindi ba po? Ano po ba ang plano? Because of the El Nino, the habagat rains are getting stronger. Tapos sa Mindanao naman, they're seeing record levels of the heat index. So ano po ang plano ninyo dito?
Well, in general, where we see that November, pinakamalaking tama ng El Nino in terms of init. That will be mostly Luzon and Western Visayas, lalo na Mindoro and some parts of Mindanao. Yun talaga, babawasan namin yung intervention ng konti. Then kung saan naman may ulan, kasi El Nino naman doesn't mean it's just dry. Other areas will be wet talaga. Doon naman magdo-double down ng interventions para susubukan bawiin yung what was lost sa mga dry areas. But itong torrential rains na na-experience natin, meron din itong positive side eh. Yung mga dams natin, in-evaluate namin kaninang umaga, kasi sa office kami lahat kanina, and pumasok na tayo sa low levels. Eh. We were below low levels na yung apat na major dams natin. Ngayon nasa low na tayo, at kung tumuloy-tuloy yan hanggang Wednesday or Thursday, wag naman salang sobrang rami, but baka it might be enough para pangtawid natin sa next harvest season which is the positive side of this rain. No?
Okay, but we know, hindi ba ang mga rice farmers malapit na sanang mag-harvest?
Yes, yun ang major issue. There are areas na flooded talaga, but luckily it's still contained at initial estimate namin at 25,000. If you may recall, we have millions of hectares na planted naman. So in the scale of things, hindi pa masyadong maraming tinamaan, except do sa mga tinamaan kagaya sa Candaba, may tinamaan na sila. Yung other areas na medyo mas mababa, yun, we will have to really give them more support, no? Like yung nabanggit, so maybe some cash and fertilizers and other inputs, no? And loans and yung tinatawag na insurance, crop insurance.
Yun na nga yung crop insurance, I understand there's a pending measure na taasan ang pondo dito para meron namang proteksyon ang mga magsasaka.
Yes, from last year, 2025 to 2026, nagtaas na ng almost 1 billion yung crop insurance fund. For 2026 to 2027, itataas pa namin yun. Ang dating coverage natin per hectare for rice, assuming, was 20,000 pesos. At this point, nasa 25,000 na tayo. And hopefully, maitaas pa yung coverage na yan by next year to hopefully 30,000, which is considerable na yun, assuming total loss.
Now, Secretary, there were very disturbing photos, and this is not the first time this happened, na yung mga farmers sa Tublay, Benguet, iniwan na lang yung kanilang mga produce because walang bumibili. Kumbaga,
Yes.
tapon na yun. Um, Wala po bang magagawa dito? Why do we have to see this time and time again?
Yung nangyari recently, that is actually ang main reason dyan is na, well, force majeure ng konti yan dahil it's the rains eh. The rains dampened the market, no? Even yung itlog, bumagal, yung mga ibang products bumagal. Even yung 20 peso rice namin sa palengke bumagal because karamihan ng pumupunta sa palengke, hindi masyadong pumupunta like sa lakas ng ulan eh. So that dampened market demand and tuloy-tuloy lang naman harvest nila. Plus yung sa mga Benguet ay marami din na wash out na road sa Atok, sa iba't ibang parte pa. So that is partly this problem. Ang long-term solution dyan ay pinondohan na namin for 2027, which we will be building big cold storage na in Benguet, no, sa katabi ng Baptisi doon, plus vegetable processing center. So that should be the long-term, medium to long-term solution.
Kailan po yun magagawa?
We hopefully if maaprubahan yung NEP namin, yung mas malaking facility will be started next year, but this year pa lang i-rehab na namin yung existing cold storages ng facility na yun na hindi na sa DA yun eh. But because of the last problem, aayusin namin. We'll be putting smaller units initially. Yung bigger facility will be next year.
How about transporting these goods? While you have cold storage, paano naman po yung mga truck na medyo hindi naman po nakasakay sa jeep, na nalalanta na yung mga gulay?
Yung tracking system actually is in place dun sa mga from Benguet to or Vizcaya to the markets and from other areas, Caraga to the markets. In place naman yung system eh. Unang problem this year is yung tumaas yung malaking fuel, then yun, naapektuhan yung freight cost, no? Ngayon naman, problema natin sa ulan, yung hindi makababa din masyado dahil yung market, mas matubal yung market ngayon due to the rains. Then marami din talagang kalye for like farm to market routes na totally destroyed dun sa area na yun eh. So that's another problem that we are facing. But the trucks itself, kompleto naman yung truck eh. We just have to put a storage in the meantime na may mga issues sa fuel man o kaya sa calamities.
Is there a better way, Secretary? Because we know August, I mean, it's a rainy season, to better plan. O baka dapat di na muna sila magtanim o gawing kimchi. I mean, these are the comments on social media, or pickle them. I don't know. Instead of just abandoning them and letting these vegetables rot.
Yes, that is the main, as I mentioned a while ago, the idea of i-pickle sila o kaya gawing kimchi, that is yung gagawin natin processing plant, yun ang purpose nun, or even to freeze them, ano. Ang plano namin dyan, maglalagay kami ng 2,000 ton capacity na cold storage, hopefully by end of next year, early 2028, tapos na yun. So that should solve the problem for at least there's a buffer area na or to stock para hindi tayo
Right.
oo. So
Ba't ngayon lang naisip yun, Secretary?
ngayon lang namin na well yung sa this year tatayo na natin yung huli. We saw that coming in 2025, but once you see kasi the problem, it takes us a year to para mai-budget yan, ano? Or then alam niyo naman, dadaan pa sa Congress, sa Senate, and everything. Because if it's not in the existing budget, then you have to wait a year actually. So yun. But finally, of course, nakita na lahat yan. Plus, in the future, the major food hubs, which itinatayo na as we speak, ngayon sa Clark, sa Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon, that will serve as the market link, eh, no? So, makukompleto rin naman natin yung systems. It's, as I said, always say, walang short-term solution sa mga problema ng agri. It's all medium to long-term. Eh.
So, ang makikinabang yung susunod na administrasyon na.
Well, hopefully maaabutan pa naman namin yung, sa last year
Mhm.
namin aabutan pa rin namin yung benefits nito at, lalo ng ating mamamayan. If kung titignan niyo, I'm barely 3 years into my office, ma'am.
Uy, 3 years is a long time, sir.
Not in ano, ma'am, not in,
Not in
uh,
agriculture.
not
When
in
you're
agriculture.
changing, the old system. But let's go to the consumer side naman, Secretary. What can consumers expect na mga presyo ng mga bilihin kagaya ng bigas, gulay, pork, chicken?
Kanina nung ni-review din namin yung notable note na i-increase and we have predicted this because of the rains in the last 2 weeks na at tataas talaga ang high value crops. As you said nga kanina, 'di ba, ang raming may tinatapon pero ngayon tumaas sa palengke kasi there's a break in the ano the break in the chain eh. Paano makarating yung produkto sa market ano because of the rains and all of that. Sa bigas naman, we took a notable note na compared to 2 weeks ago and this week, ang average price ng well-milled rice is 2 pesos lower. So okay yan. Baboy din, medyo mababa. Manok, medyo mababa din. So in general, ang issue ngayon is isda. Medyo tumaas ang isda. Galunggong nagmahal dahil nga hindi makalaot ang mga fisher folk. Tsaka yung bangus naman sa tilapia medyo stable lang but of course hindi rin dahil malakas din minsan hindi din maka-harvest but high value tumaas talaga. But the rest itlog okay pa naman.
Dito po sa 2027 budget, ano po ang priority ng agri?
Well, basically lahat priority but there's a notable note on the fisheries side that we will be building 3 mega hatcheries for the first time in Philippine history no.
Oh.
One in Luzon, one in Visayas and one in Mindanao to address yung mga kakulangan natin sa fries and fingerlings no sa bansa. So that should make us more secure. Then we will be more focusing on aquaculture. No? We plan to raise samaral, yung ulang, no? Yung freshwater prawn, and crayfish, among others, no? Para may additional varieties tayo. Dun naman of course, yung food hub, pag matapos next year yun, we need multi-year budgeting yan eh. So tuloy-tuloy yun. So magandang resulta rin yung magiging effect nung food hub natin should be on the consumer side and the farmer side. Hopefully, mas mataas ang kita nila dito tapos sa consumer mas bumaba dahil may congregation na at mabawasan yung mga traders or trading systems. Tuloy-tuloy naman yung pagpatayo natin ng cold storage and of course, the critical is we're trying to achieve yung zero importation of onions by 2028 and hopefully no importation of carrots din by 2028 with the strategic locations of
Wow,
storage.
really?
Yeah, yun yung mga habol natin.
Nahahabol pa rin po ba ang mga smugglers ng mga yan?
Yeah,
Ng
well,
mga,
yes, meron kaming hindi lang namin siguro mahina lang ako sa public but like a month ago, marami kaming nahuli na mga misdeclared na isda, no? Which meron kami mga sinunog last weekend. Yung iba naman, return to sender or finaila na ng mga penalties, ano? Yung mga airing. Sa sigarilyo naman, tuloy-tuloy. Ang huli, nakikita nyo naman, nandun naman yung customs na humuhuli. Pero kasama naman kami rin doon. Sa baboy, sa ngayon, medyo wala naman kami masyado napapansin recently. High value crops, few months ago, meron din kami nahuli ng mga carrots at onions. Siguro nakita rin yun sa news. So tuloy-tuloy naman at tuloy-tuloy nagmamatsaga. I would believe na bumababa to dahil nga namamanage naman namin. If you can see the prices of onions sa merkado, sa 100, 120. So, at yung mga
yes.
ibang presyo naman, pati carrots, medyo mababa. So,
We don't see
usually
the
naman,
ridiculous prices like before.
wala na
Oo,
yun, wala na
oo.
yun. So kung wala yung mga ridiculous prices na yun, that also shows na bumababa din yung smuggling kasi smugglers are creatures of opportunity eh. Di ba?
Ngayon po, on the export side naman, ano ang mga agricultural products na apektado ng US tariff policy?
Sa ngayon, wala naman na main products natin because of most of our main products na anuhan ng 19% tariffs are hindi yan yung major natin, eh. So may exemptions kasi. So most of our products are actually exempted.
Mhm. Now, the president made mention, special mention nung enoki mushrooms sa kanyang SONA. Ano po ba 'yon? Saan yan what is the prospect of export of this product and uh, mushrooms and other, I suppose, not quite well known?
Well, sa ngayon yung mushrooms na enoki mushrooms, we're actually importing it, ano? I think we import about 4,000 tons a year, no? So
Really?
yun,
That
so
much?
yun lang, so
I
yun
know,
lang.
gawa nung hot pot at saka sa mga samgyup ba yun? Saan ba yun?
Yes, samgyup, hot pot, mga Japanese restaurant na
Yeah.
natin yung binabalutan lang ng bacon,
Yeah.
yung asparo, parang ganon, di ba? So, yun lang, import substitution is one. Then after that, of course, there's markets in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, China. Yan yung mga target areas natin. And yun. Of course, other mushrooms like oyster mushrooms and others, maganda rin yun. So, where the DA is heavily promoting that. Kasi pwede rin palakihin sa backyard lang, eh. So that can be another industry for the backyard.
At pag bagyo, hindi siya apektado.
Hindi apektado. And very nutritious, of course, with protein and all of that. Yeah.
What about essential oils? I understand that the president is about to inaugurate a distillation plant in Kamsur.
Yeah,
that-
it is a vetiver plant na meron sa Kamsur that basically from the vetiver plant that you extract some oils, no,
Right.
that can be used for
From the
perfumes,
roots.
from the roots. So that's also very promising. Kung of course we all wish na mag-succeed ito kasi ang rami natin produktong pwedeng export, eh, among the usual mango, pineapple,
Yes.
bananas natin, ano. Ngayon, of course, yung thrust natin sa ube rin. We're very excited in that at nagbigay ng Pangulo ng 300 million pesos. And just to inform you, ang US also nagbigay din ng grant for ube to our country, no? I forgot lang the exact amount pero hindi maliit, malaki. So that's exciting.
Sikat na sikat ang ube, but are the farmers benefiting? There are many stories about how the farmer is not the one that benefits. Malamang na naman traders.
Well, sa ngayon, I think even the farmer, kahit na may trader in between, medyo malaki yung maganda yung presyo, eh. So they're still benefiting. But ang problema ngayon kasi sa ube, it's not about the farmer or the trader benefiting. It's kulang ng ng
supply.
planting material. So even the traders are buying it, binibili nila ng mahal, eh. Basta meron yung farmer, eh. So ngayon, yan ang main goal natin for 1 year. We will the DA will not probably, but we will multiply yung ating planting material by 10 times, eh, in 1 year, eh. So yun ang aming target sa ngayon. Then once we do that for 1 year, then we will have 10 times more supply na. Hopefully in concentrated areas, no, we're not going to do it all over the country, so we can protect the farmers from the
Right.
traders and all of that, no. And lalagay natin yung mga production area
Like I
near the
suppose
processing
Bohol.
plants na.
Bohol,
Oo.
because Bohol
Bohol
is...
would be one.
Yeah.
Kilala na sila, eh.
Oo. Secretary, baka naman meron ng ibang ASEAN nation na kumuha niyan at gawing kanila. I mean, we've seen
Meron
that
na
happen. Like,
meron na ho. Kaya
naku,
nga,
patay. Paano po yan?
this is a race, and we've nag-geographic tagging na tayo, geographic indication, nag-intellectual property na tayo among all, and we're keeping our varieties a secret na, no? We're not saying this brand or this brand or this brand. We're coding everything. So we have to keep it close to our heart para nga hindi tayo
Yes.
makakan.
Oh, so it's happening already.
Yeah, there's one country hindi ko na mention, but of course we're aware of that.
How
and
do we
we're
stop that?
Yun na nga, first of all, ipapatent natin yung sarili nating planting material. Meron na tayong naka-DNA na, naka-genome sequencing na siya. So parang hindi na pwede i-claim ng iba. So but we have to do it quietly and fast.
Like for instance, bangus, na-hijack yan ng Taiwan, di ba? Or,
Well, traditionally meron din naman sila actually.
ganun ba?
Oo.
Okay.
Pero yung ube, medyo uniquely ours talaga yan, eh. Like calamansi natin.
But food heritage advocates say we're focusing so much on ube, pero ang dami nating mga unique. Kunyari, for instance, yung durian. Ang dami nating variety. Gusto pa natin ng imported from our neighbors. Is that
Yes.
also something you're... Oy, is that your alert?
Not mine.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. I don't.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Basically, yes. We're actually focusing on about now, including ube, mga 15 products na, no, for export, and
Can
we're
you name
doing
some off the top of your
well,
head?
dragon fruit, calamansi nga, durian, cacao, coffee, heirloom rice, pandagdag pa yung mga heirloom rice varieties natin. Ang heirloom rice natin from Ifugao, dati nag-export tayo, ngayon halos wala na. So we want to bring it back to its former glory. Yeah.
Okay.
Or more.
All right, so despite the bad weather, it's been exciting hearing about these possibilities from you, Secretary, and hopefully our farmers will get what's really due them. Farmers
Yes.
and fisher folk.
Yes, ma'am.
We thank,
Definitely.
we thank you so much for talking to us again. Next
Thank
time
you for
po,
your
pasyal
invitation
naman kayo
again.
sa studio.
Yes, ma'am. Sa susunod, sige.
Sige po, Agriculture
you.
Secretary Kiko Chu Laurel.